Dr. Jack here, and I'm going to be explaining the 8 biggest weight loss mistakes that you're probably making. Now, this is what my physique has looked like over the past 10 years. I have a ton of experience with weight loss and shredding down. In fact, I can almost guarantee that the reason why you just can't lose any weight is because you're making one of these common mistakes. Now, the first mistake that so many of you are making is you're focusing on eating healthy as opposed to focusing on just hitting your calorie intake. While eating healthier generally sounds like a good first step when you're trying to lose weight, honestly, it's a terrible idea simply because you could still overeat in healthy foods and still take in too many calories and fail to lose weight. In fact, there are so many clean foods out there, including peanut butter, nuts, oils that are so high in calories. So just because a food has a lot of health benefits and is considered healthy, it doesn't necessarily mean it's lower in calories. And weight loss is solely a calorie game. So rather than simply just trying to eat clean, instead, you just simply need to know how many calories you're supposed to be eating and then just hit that many calories every single day. If you have no idea how many calories you're supposed to be eating to lose weight, then feel free to use my 100% free calorie calculator. You can find the link in the description or the pinned comment below. It's literally the best calculator you'll find on the internet. What are you waiting for? You could literally eat fast food for all 3 meals, and if you're hitting your appropriate daily calorie intake, then you will lose weight. Stop trying to just only eat clean foods. Instead, start tracking your calories by simply looking at the nutrition label on the foods you eat, add it up throughout the day, and try and just consistently nail your calorie intake. That is how you are going to lose weight. Number 2 is doing too much cardio. Now, this is interesting because so many people think that they're just gonna go on like so many runs or bike rides and just burn fat, and it really does not work that way. The main reason why is because people drastically overestimate how many calories you actually burn from cardio. I mean, the average person burns about 100 calories per mile ran. So if you go for that 3-mile run, which is quite a bit of effort, that only burns 300 calories. Now, 300 calories might sound really good, but really that's like 3 spoonfuls of peanut butter. So you go for that long, hard-working 3-mile run. Now you're hungry because cardio and burning calories increases your appetite. So then you probably just end up eating back those 300 calories. It's really not a lot of food. While cardio is super good for cardiovascular health, and you can use cardio as a supplement to burn X amount of calories here and there, your main focus must be just simply controlling calories through your diet. They say it's like 70% diet, 30% exercise, but really it's like 95% diet if you're just solely trying to lose weight. Unless you're running like marathons every single day, you're probably not going to be burning a significant amount of calories to really have a strong impact on fat loss. All the effort that you're currently putting into cardio and waking up early and going for these long bike rides and runs, just put into getting a better feel for how many calories you are consuming through your diet, and you will be drastically more likely to actually get into that calorie deficit and lose weight. Number 3 is drinking too much alcohol. Now, a lot of people understand that alcohol isn't ideal for weight loss, but honestly, I don't think they know how bad alcohol truly is. 1 beer is 100 calories, and likewise, a shot of hard alcohol is 100 calories. A lot of people are like, oh, well, hard alcohol is better than beer. It's really not for weight loss. So if you're going to the bar and you're just having like even like 3 to 5 drinks, that's easily gonna be like 500 plus calories. It's gonna be so hard to lose weight if you're going out and doing that even just once a week. Really try and limit your alcohol intake. Ideally, you'd want to cut it all out, but I know that's not that realistic for a lot of you watching this video. Just try and limit your drinks to just 1 or 2 when you go out. Those big, heavy drinking nights will literally destroy your weight loss progress. That can literally set you back by like a week. That is probably the absolute worst thing you can do for weight loss. Honestly, it's worse than any other high calorie food. The 4th huge mistake people make is they don't weigh themselves on the scale. Now, again, I know this sounds a bit controversial. A lot of people are scared to weigh themselves because they're so obsessed with how much they weigh, and they get really anxious and they worry a lot. But it is going to be damn near impossible to just look in the mirror and be like, oh, I think I lost 1 pound, or oh, I think I gained 2 pounds. You need to be tracking your weight loss progress, and the best way to do this is through the scale. I'd recommend weighing yourself first thing in the morning, ideally on an empty stomach. In this way, you can track your progress to see if you're actually losing weight. Now, don't get mad if you have a couple bad weigh-ins. Weight loss is never going to be a linear downward line like like this. Instead, it's gonna look something like this. You know, you'll have some highs and lows, but you wanna see somewhat of a downward trend. This is super important because a lot of times your stomach is the last place your body burns fat. So a lot of times when people start to diet, they're really overweight and they start to lose weight in their legs or their chest or even their arms, but they see no improvements in their belly fat. So they think that they're not losing weight when the reality is that they actually are. If they just simply weigh themselves, they would know that they would be losing weight. They would continue to ride out that calorie deficit, and then sure enough, they would start to lose some belly fat. So I would get in a good habit of weighing yourself. That way you actually know if you're losing weight, and that way you can make adjustments in your diet if necessary. That is super important. The fifth mistake a lot of people make is they don't eat enough protein. Now, while it is true that as long as you're hitting your appropriate daily calorie intake, whether those calories come from carbs, fats, or protein, you will lose the same amount of weight. Increasing your protein intake will likely make hitting that calorie number and getting into that calorie deficit drastically easier, simply because protein is by far the most satiating macro. So if you just simply increase your protein intake, I would try and get that up to at least about 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. You are likely just going to be more satiated after meals and likely be more full throughout the day, putting you at a much higher chance of hitting your appropriate calorie intake and getting into your calorie deficit. The sixth mistake that so many people make are cheat days. Again, so many people think that cheat days are good. They're like, oh, if I have a cheat day once a week, it'll satisfy some cravings and help with weight loss in the long term. And that sounds great, but it really does not work out like that. Keep in mind that you need to be in a 3,500 calorie deficit to lose a pound a week. So if you're having an all-out cheat day once a week, that's likely gonna put you in at least a plus 2,000 calorie surplus. And oftentimes, that's the best case scenario. If you really go like super overboard on a cheat day, that could put you in above a plus 3,000 calorie surplus. And that would literally wipe out an entire week's worth of dieting. Cheat days destroy so much hard work. They can completely reverse weight loss progress. And if they don't reverse it, they will significantly stall it and it will take you so much longer to lose X amount of pounds. Most people don't want to wait months to see results. They want results to start happening soon, and cheat days will really slow down this progress. I cannot emphasize this enough. Instead, you want to have a cheat meal once a week, or if you want to have an all-out cheat day, you can do that once a month. But if you're having that all-out cheat day once a week, like every Saturday, that is an absolute recipe for disaster, and I would strongly recommend you do not do that unless you want to wait like 4 years to lose 4 pounds of fat. The seventh mistake that you're probably making is not getting enough sleep. Now, believe it or not, sleep actually does have a dramatically positive impact on fat loss. This is because one of the positive hormonal benefits that sleep has on your body, but two, if you're sleeping 8 hours a night, then that means there's only 16 hours of the day where you can actually eat and take in calories. If you're sleeping only 5 or 6 hours, then boom, you're gonna be awake for like 18 or 19 hours and will have more chances to eat and take in calories, resulting in weight gain. Furthermore, a lot of times when you get poor sleep, you're less productive during the day. So you're probably gonna be less active, you're probably gonna be a little lazy, you might be more likely to order food as opposed to just making a nice healthy meal. So I'd strongly recommend trying to get somewhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Now, the final mistake that a lot of people make is they are way too over-restrictive. A lot of times people will often starve themselves. They're like, you know what, I wanna lose weight. They go all in, they're eating these super low calorie diets. They actually might even see results at the beginning, but eventually they're gonna crack, they're gonna get all ravenous, they'll have all these cravings, and eventually they'll just binge and offset all of the work and weight loss progress that they made. They end up getting in the dreadful binge restrict cycle, otherwise known as the yo-yo diet. Binge restrict, and they never actually sustainably lose weight. If you're eating like 1,200 calories a day, you are going to be absolutely starving. You're eventually gonna give in and just binge and never actually lose weight. The diet that I would recommend, that I personally have been doing for the past 6 years, is intermittent fasting. By simply skipping breakfast and pushing all of your calories back to a later window, you are going to be able to get away with eating much dirtier while still actually being in a calorie deficit and still hitting the same calorie intake compared to eating relatively clean throughout the whole day. I have a huge appetite, I love eating big, I have a great social life outside of this, and I'm able to maintain a very good physique year-round while still eating the foods I absolutely love every single day. So if you're really struggling to lose weight or have no idea where to start, or are sick of eating the 6 small clean chicken, broccoli, and rice style meals and want to learn how to melt fat off like it's nothing while still living an amazing social life, then please do check out my website. You can find the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Hop on a call with me, tell me exactly what you're struggling with, with exactly what you're looking for, and I 100% guarantee I can help you out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.